What if I told you that the greatest striker in anime history won't be born from teamwork, but from ego? Blue Lock doesn't just throw a wrench in the formula of sports anime. It blows it up, rebuilds it, and paints it in the colors of obsession, ambition, and unapologetic self-worth. In a genre known for unity, friendship, and perseverance, Blue Lock stares all that in the face and chooses war. Not war against others, but war against the self, the past, and everything holding you back from being number one. From the very first moment, the concept is a punch to the gut. Japan loses the World Cup, again. The Football Federation has had enough of playing nice, of nurturing good boys who pass well but never dominate. So they fund an outrageous, borderline dystopian project. Blue Lock, a prison-like institution built to create the best striker in the world. Not a team, a weapon. The egoist who will crush anyone in front of the goal to win. This isn't a school tournament. This isn't a journey to nationals. This is survival. 300 of the best high school forwards in the country locked together, forced to fight, trick, and outshine each other. Friendships are temporary, alliances are tactical, and the moment you're eliminated, your dream of playing for Japan dies forever. From the outside, it sounds cruel, but on the inside, something extraordinary happens. We meet Yoichi Isagi, a good player, not exceptional, not a prodigy, just good. The kind of player who passes the ball in the final moment because he believes in teamwork. The kind who's haunted when that pass costs his team the win. When he steps into Blue Lock, he doesn't even understand why he's there. But what unfolds is one of the most intense, personal, and psychological character arcs in sports anime history. Because in Blue Lock, character arcs don't grow outward, they implode inward. Isagi doesn't evolve by becoming more friendly or gaining more resolve. He evolves by tearing down every false belief he had about himself, every comforting lie about teamwork, modesty, and playing it safe. He dissects his weaknesses like a scientist, rips his personality apart like an artist destroying a failed canvas. Every match is a battlefield, not just of skill, but of identity. And he's not the only one. Each character in Blue Lock represents a different aspect of ego. Some are monsters of instinct, players like Baru, who dominate with power and see everyone else as lesser. Some, like Nagi, are prodigies who play out of boredom, until they're awakened by the thrill of actual challenge. Then there's Bachira, the eccentric, joyful dribbler who's been playing with an imaginary monster inside his head his whole life, and suddenly finds real monsters on the field. The brilliance of Blue Lock lies in how it builds these characters, not as teammates, but as rivals, not as pieces of a whole, but as entire ideologies clashing against each other. And through each match, we don't just see who wins, we see who evolves. The structure of the anime makes this possible. It's not a tournament in the traditional sense. There are no schools, no underdog teams. Instead, it's a multi-layered elimination system designed to force personal growth. Players are ranked, constantly reevaluated. Sometimes a team wins, but a player is cut. Sometimes a team loses, but a single player is deemed worthy and kept. Every rule is made to reward ego, not collaboration. And yet, that's the paradox. To survive in Blue Lock, you can't be selfish in the basic sense. You can't just hog the ball. You have to understand yourself, yes, but also the others. You have to learn how to dominate, but also how to adapt. The greatest egoist isn't someone who ignores the world, but someone who bends it to their will. This is what makes Blue Lock different from every sports anime before it. In Haikyuu, you grow through synergy. In Kuroko no Basket, it's about awakening individual talents within a team framework. In Captain Tsubasa, it's all about national pride and dreams. But Blue Lock says, forget that. Who are you when everything is stripped away? Are you the type to hesitate at the final moment? Or are you the one who shoots without apology? This shift affects the animation too. Matches feel more like battles than games. There are no background characters. Every player is a story. Every goal is a revolution. The colors, the expressions, the soundtrack, it's all crafted to feel like life or death. Because for these players, it is. Even the character design reflects the philosophy. You don't see clean-cut heroes. You see intensity, eyes glowing like predators, faces twisted in frustration, fear, hunger. There's beauty, but it's not graceful. It's raw, and it's unforgettable. As the series progresses, the stakes evolve beyond the game. We begin to question the system itself. Is Blue Lock right? Can Ego really produce the world's best striker? Or is it just another cage? Isagi begins to ask himself these questions too. And that's where his character arc shines brightest. Because he doesn't become a good person. He becomes someone unshakable, someone terrifying, someone who can read the entire field, manipulate players, set traps, and finish with precision. Not by abandoning ego, but by mastering it. It's rare for a sports anime to dare go this far, to make the audience uncomfortable, to force us to cheer for characters who sometimes act like villains. But that's the point. Blue Lock isn't here to give you a feel-good story. It's here to challenge how you see the sport, and maybe how you see yourself. When a character like Rin Itoshi enters the game, we see what happens when ego becomes obsession. Rin is cold, surgical, brilliant, but he's broken inside. Everything he does is to beat his older brother. He doesn't want to be the best because he loves football. He wants to erase his past. And through Rin, we see how even greatness can become a prison. This layering of motivation is what elevates Blue Lock beyond just a sports story. It becomes a psychological thriller, a character study, a philosophical battleground. And it's only just getting started. The manga is still ongoing, and the anime has only scratched the surface of what's to come. Future arcs promise even more insane matchups, deeper mental breakdowns, and a look into the international football scene. But more than that, we'll see how Japan, and maybe the world, responds to the product of this twisted, brilliant experiment. So, what does Blue Lock change, exactly? It changes the narrative structure of sports anime. It shifts the emotional focus from group effort to individual transformation. It questions the morality of winning. It glamorizes ego, and then makes you feel the weight of it. It turns the field into a war zone, the striker into a god or a devil, and the audience into stunned witnesses of a revolution. And maybe, just maybe, it tells us something we're not used to hearing in anime. You don't always have to be kind. You don't always have to be part of a team. Sometimes, to become the best version of yourself, you have to burn the old one down first. We've already explored the volatile roster of egos, dreams, and ambitions that make up the Blue Lock contenders. But to truly grasp what sets Blue Lock apart from traditional sports manga, we must turn our eyes away from the field and look into the eyes of the man who built this twisted battlefield. In most sports stories, the coach is the guiding light, a mentor, a pillar of wisdom who uplifts the team, shouts encouragement from the sidelines, and believes in the beauty of teamwork. But in Blue Lock, that ideal is shattered. Because here, the man behind the madness isn't just a coach. He's the architect of chaos, the embodiment of obsession. His name? Ego Jinpachi. Ego isn't here to teach you how to pass the ball or run drills. He doesn't clap when you try your best. He doesn't believe in trying. He believes in winning. And for him, the only truth that matters in football is one: the striker, the man who scores, the man who devours. Jinpachi Ego is part philosopher, part mad scientist, part executioner. He speaks not to inspire, but to provoke, to fracture the illusions his players hold about teamwork, friendship, and self-worth. His doctrine is simple yet brutal: crush or be crushed. Every drill he designs, every match he orchestrates, is a psychological experiment disguised as a game. Blue Lock is not a training center. It's a pressure cooker designed to strip away the weak, the hesitant, the dependent. Under his system, progress is not measured in assists or camaraderie. It's measured in survival, in who can break through, in who dares to destroy someone else's dream to protect their own. Ego doesn't cultivate players. He cultivates monsters of ambition. Imagine a scenario like the Hunger Games, a brutal contest where only one can win and the rest fade into oblivion. Now imagine that after the winner stands tall, bloodied but victorious, the curtain rises to reveal that 20 other games were happening simultaneously. And now, the real battle begins. That's the level of psychological warfare Ego unleashes on his players. Every time they think they've conquered the peak, he reveals it was just another hill, another test. And while Blue Lock doesn't kill its losers physically, it annihilates them symbolically. The anime doesn't shy away from showing the consequences: the broken eyes of a striker who's been deemed unworthy, the silence of a player who gave it his all only to be told it wasn't enough. No blood, no corpses, just dreams. crushed, trampled, erased. Ego Jinpachi is the dark soul of Blue Lock. He challenges the romanticism of sports with a cold, surgical vision. And in doing so, he forces us, the viewers, to ask a terrifying question. Is greatness born from passion and support, or from pressure and pain? Now here's the real question. If you were in Blue Lock, would you make it? Smash that like button, subscribe for more anime deep dives, and let me know in the comments. Who do you think will stand at the top when all of this is over?